Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and tonight we are taking a look at Warhammer Underworlds Gnarlwood and Rivals of Nethermaze. Now, both of these items, as of the date of this video being released, are available for pre-order. And obviously, these items were sent to us by Games Workshop for the purpose of this video, as well as for our follow-up review of Gnarlwood itself. So let's go ahead and open these up and get started. So I'm just going to break the seal on Gnarlwood itself. All right, but we're going to set Gnarlwood aside, and we're going to look at Rivals of Nethermaze first. So this is the Shadeborn and Skittershank's Claw Pack. Oops. Didn't notice these were sealed. There we go. So this has the Shadeborn and Skittershank's Claw Pack, which were in Nethermaze originally, but basically repackaged for those that wanted to be able to play them in Gnarlwood, but were not able to pick up Nethermaze itself or did not want to. So here's our assembly guide. So we're not going to spend too much time looking at the models themselves, as they are exactly the same. And we have our two sprues for Skittershank's Claw Pack. Now, because we already have these models already, I'm actually in the process of planning a Skaven-based diorama centered around the video game Vermintide. Well, actually Vermintide 2, more accurately. And needed for the models to go there, and was looking for the perfect gutter runner for that. And these models definitely fit the bill, so I definitely plan on utilizing some of those. Now we have the actual decks that also came with Nethermaze, so we're not going to go through the cards directly. We're just taking off the plastic, cleaning them up. Same as Skittershank's, no difference there. So they are the exact same decks. So if you do have Nethermaze already and you don't want just extras of the models, then this box is definitely not for you. This is meant for people that did not get Nethermaze and still want to be able to play both of those warbands, or a cheaper way to get extra copies of the models if you're doing some sort of kit bashing or something else. But definitely some really cool stuff. I'm really glad that they are doing this with the models now and releasing them again, so that way players can get a hold of them if they missed out on their chance for Nethermaze. They did the same thing when Nethermaze came out for the previous edition as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up Gnarlwood. Now it looks like where normally the actual box set tend to be a force of order versus a force of chaos. Like Nethermaze was, you had the Shadeborn, which were technically order, just kind of an offshoot of the Daughters of Cain army, and going against Skaven, which are an offshoot of Chaos. Now this one looks like it's Chaos versus oh god, I'm trying to blank on their name all of a sudden. Basically the undead guys that work with the Soulblight Gravelords. I feel like there's an army I'm forgetting about. I know that they work with Night Haunt and the Oziark Bone Reapers, but for some reason I thought that there was another undead army that those guys worked with. Unless they were all just part of Soulblight Gravelord and I'm just forgetting. All right, so starting off, we have our rulebook, and I love how they do the rulebooks for Underworlds. I mean, full color with examples that really help you understand how to play the game. They do a fantastic job with that. And then we have our boards, possibly our tokens in here as well. Let's go ahead and crack this open and take a look. All right. Now, from what I remember, the Gnarlwood location is located near the heart of Gur, about where Warcry is currently taking place. So maybe further into the Gnarlwood itself. Definitely some crazy looking boards. You know, it looks like, you know, kind of in the heart of chaos itself. You know, we have our tokens and objective markers. And then our other board, which definitely looks like the heart of Gur terrain. Like it fits part of that quite well. And then we have our assembly guides, which really just 2 pages, and that's it. We have our box of dice, or bag of dice rather. We have our undead models. Our chaos models as well. Then we have our cards. All right. So it's a total of 4 decks. We have the Rivals deck for both armies, the Sons of Velmorn and the Gnarl Spirit pack, as well as the rest of the cards for the game. Now it's interesting. So it looks like this was kind of packaged out of order, because it specifically says lift this to find your rulebook, tokens, and game boards in multiple languages. But we pulled all that stuff out first. So not sure what happened there, but not upset either, because everything looks like it's in great condition anyway. So we'll set the cards aside. I'm going to put the rule books and tokens inside, just out of the way. That way they don't interfere. All right, now looking at, let me move these so that way we can see the names again. So this is the Sons of Velmorn. This is our undead models. And there's quite a bit of detail on here. I mean, these guys look like they would fit quite well in with the Grave Guard from Cursed City. And looking at the tiles, I mean, based on how I painted mine for Curse City, the bases for these look like they would fit in perfectly with them as well, as long as I use the same colors. So I plan to do exactly that. Basically give some, creative, new look, more unique Graveguard models to be used on that for some extra forces, just extra character as well, but still use them for undergrounds because, I mean, they are some great looking models. I love that one of them is basically kind of got the vampire counts kind of knight's helmet with kind of the bat wings coming off the top of it. Just a lot of great looking detail on there, and I love that the backside of the shields, you can see just all of the kind of the veins in the wood from that. They look fantastic. Now the Gnarl Spirit pack, taking a look there. I mean, these guys are super impressive, just a ton of detail. The bases even more so than the Sons of Elmorn, but these guys have so much detail, just a ton of hair and bones and skulls and things like that all over the place. I mean, it definitely fits in with like a perfect chaos army. They look absolutely fantastic. Now, a couple of the models, I mean, the way that they're posed and the way that they're designed, I mean, they look like they would also fit in with like Blood Bowl as well, using some sort of chaos team there, like the Khorne team that not too long ago came out. These guys would probably fit in perfectly there if you did them up in the same color. Maybe use them kind of as a like a hero character type thing, maybe something like that, but definitely a lot of potential here to be used elsewhere. And the models look fantastic. Just, again, so much detail. Really looking forward to getting these guys painted up. Now, let's take a look at the Rivals decks. So specifically, we have our objective cards, power cards, and then the actual models themselves. Well, their cards anyway. And so just looking at a random gambit, really like the picture of this one. Shayishin Infusion, heal 2, 1 friendly Graveguard, a burst of vivid energy that mends shattered bone. Velmorn's Curse, reaction, play this after an enemy fighter's attack action takes a friendly fighter out of action. If the fighters were adjacent to each other, deal 1 damage to the attacker. Any who would threaten King Morlach's line shall receive his curse. And then we have an upgrade for an heirloom weapon, plus 1 damage to this fighter's range 1 and range 2 attack actions, intended as an inheritance, now pressed into use rather than sequestered for eternity. I love the kind of like the commentary that's on some of these cards as well, but a lot of kind of versatility that can be used. Clinical efficiency, surge hybrid, score this immediately after a friendly fighter's attack action. Sorry, this is an objective that took target out of action. If that target action dealt precisely enough damage to take the target out of action, or that attack action resulted in a critical hit. And we'll look at one more. Inevitability itself. It's a duel. Score this in an end phase if there are 1 or fewer surviving enemy fighters and there are 2 or more surviving friendly fighters, and basically gives you 3 points. So basically, if you have 3 or more units, or sorry, 2 or more units and they're down to 1 or none, this would get you 3 points. So pretty cool. Now, from what I recall, the Rivals deck format is meant more kind of as a way to speed up some of the gameplay, so that we can just kind of get to it quick with predefined decks. And then we have the Gnarl Spirit pack. Excuse me. So here's one. It's a Gambit, Dueling Venom. It's a poison. Choose one enemy fighter adjacent to one or more friendly beasts. The chosen fighter is staggered. The effect persists until the chosen fighter is taken out of action. The patrons of the Gnarl Spirit pack bless them with venom that slows the reactions of their victims. So pretty cool. Now this one has an amazing picture. Hunting aspects. In the next activation, friendly fighters have the following abilities. Gorl, after his fighter's first action, heal this fighter. Kira, after this fighter's first action, deal 1 damage to one adjacent enemy fighter. Lupan, this fighter's attack actions have cleave and ensnare. Sarikar, +1 wizard level. And it says restricted Sarikar. So that's looks to be the leader. And then we have an upgrade, Trophy of Strength. +1 damage to this fighter's range 1 and range 2 attack actions. Reaction after a friendly fighter's attack action that takes an enemy fighter out of action. If this card is in your hand, give this upgrade to that friendly fighter. This does not cost any glory points. Pretty cool. Now for an objective, so this is 1 glory point. Oath of Slaughter, Surge Hybrid. You may reveal this card at the start of your turn in a round, then return it to your hand. Score this immediately after. A second or subsequent enemy fighter is taken out of action or in the same round, or a large enemy fighter is taken out of action. If you revealed this card, gain 1 additional glory point. And then we got Return to Ruin. This one's for 3 glory points. It's a hybrid. Score this in an end phase if there is a friendly fighter on each feature token in enemy territory, or there's no objective tokens in enemy territory. Fear Us, the Disciples of Ruin, Sarikar, Blackwing. All right. So we're just gonna look at a couple more cards here. So here we have Binding Helix, Gambit. Choose 1 savage fighter within 3 hexes of your leader. That fighter's player rolls 1 defense dice for each of the chosen fighter's upgrades. If they roll 1 or more shield symbols, nothing happens. Otherwise, the chosen fighter is a beast. This effect persists until the chosen fighter or your leader is taken out of action. And then we have an upgrade for Beast Claws, attack action. Flurry, while this fighter is savage, you can re-roll any number of attack dice in the attack roll. And then I like this one. It's a 4-armed Skaven. A Gifted Ferocity mutation, +1 dice to the fighter's range 1 attack actions. Reaction after a friendly fighter's attack action that takes an enemy fighter out of action. If this card is in your hand, give this upgrade to that friendly fighter. This does not cost glory points. And then we have the Focal Point objective. Duel, score this in an end phase if a friendly leader is within 2 hexes of 2 or more other fighters from 2 or more warbands, and that leader is in enemy territory. Some fighters just can't resist the limelight. Not sure if I said or not, but that one was worth 2 glory points. Kind of wish that they would have like actual like deck boxes for these cards, just to make putting them away much easier. All right, so with these, we have Quick Roots, which is a trap. Play this after an enemy fighter's activation. If that fighter has 1 or more move and or charge tokens, deal 1 damage to that fighter. While staying still too long in the Gnarlwood is a death sentence, that doesn't mean you'll be safe if you keep moving. An upgrade called Final Say. It's a reaction after a gambit is played that chooses 1 or more friendly fighters. Give this fighter 1 charge token and break this card. When you do, that gambit is not resolved. I think not. Dantalis the Exile. And then the last objective we're going to look at, Stealthy Advance. It's a surge duel. Score this immediately after a friendly fighter's attack action if that fighter was in a cover hex or a lethal hex or on a feature token when it made that attack action, and the fighter was not in your territory when it made that attack action. And that one's worth 1 point. So definitely a lot of cool looking cards in here. I love the artwork. They do a fantastic job there, as always. Compared to some of the warband decks that we've received recently that went alongside with Nethermaze, those decks, you know, had some cards that were absolute game changers, and so far, just out of the ones that we looked at, didn't really get that feel from these ones. But only time's going to tell as far as when we actually do our real review on it. But now let's go ahead and take a look at those miniatures. All right, so here are the undead models. And as always, these are push to fit. And then these are the chaos models. Got some interesting detail on the backside of what looked like hair. I'm guessing maybe either long hair from one of the models or from something they're wearing, from some sort of beast that they've killed. All right, so now that we're done, these models look fantastic. Cannot wait to build and paint another warband for Underworlds. These games have so much character, sorry, these models, well, and the game itself, so much character, so much detail, you know, so much originality compared to the armies that you can get with just Age of Sigmar as a whole. So I continue to look forward to, you know, what they put out for Underworlds and what other warbands we're going to see. So far, they haven't teased any other warbands, at least as of the date of filming this video. And I really can't wait to see what they do come out with here in the next couple months as well. But that's it for tonight. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I hope you have a great night.